when we feel our relationship is disturbed because we've been triggered, not when it's by the bona fide spiritual master. You're going closer to Krishna. You're going closer to Krishna. It's true. It's my experience and the experience of others. And we can all sit down and tell you our experiences of actually seeing things that Srila Gaura Hari Das is doing and actually wondering, because we spent so much time with him, you know, in living in a home, in an ashram, sleep. We sleep together, not together, but in the same house. Going to the gym and swimming and eating, him cooking for us, obviously going on Harinam and different and Kirtans all the time, different ways of being with the bona fide spiritual master in different places at any time, in the supermarket, talking to people on the street, in the town center, doing Harinam, all sorts of things. And we build this relationship with the real spiritual family. And, you know, this real spiritual family has bickering as well. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. So, you know, when we get angry because of being triggered, you know, like the Hulk, he gets triggered and he just goes, doesn't he? He goes like that, but then he gets settled down and he comes back to being who he is, which is, what is it? Banner, I can't remember his first name. Hare Krishna, Krishna. And it's great. It's okay. It's okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. One I shout to here no matter what else is happening. It looks like people are watching somebody else, but it's okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And I'll give you, so just to clarify on that, when we get triggered by the bona fide spiritual master, we are going deeper in our relationship with the Lord. We're traveling deeper. We're going past any subtle obstacles. Our mind does not believe they're there. Our mind does not believe they're there. But they're there. And we keep going through, and we do this again and again. And it brings out so much fruits, so much juice, so much relishing this relationship with the Lord. So I can understand when people feel that their relationships have been with Krishna have been triggered. But our relationship with Lord Chaitanya, the process is to be triggered. We don't have to be pure devotees to be able to receive the Lord. That's not Raganuga Bhakti. That is not what Prabhupada wrote. He didn't teach because it wasn't the right time, but he wrote. He was right. He was teaching that you need to be a pure devotee in a way, just to keep people attracted. Whatever he did, whatever his teaching Vaidhi Bhakti back then was fine because it's the beginning and it's okay, you know. But and Raganuga Bhakti, which Prabhupada taught, and ordered Srila Gaura Hari to do that job because he already did it. Well, if you can do it, you're gonna get the job, because none of my gurus, Hare Krishna, none of my gurus have been able to do that job. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So staying here in the Sangha, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It gives us that shelter from all the issues we have out there, from all our misconceptions that we have, our misunderstandings. And some people may think, I don't have any. Others can clearly see them in the Sangha. And maybe it could be they can see them, and they can see them because they have them too. You know, so it's win-win, really. To leave the Sangha will it's again going away, and we're doing it by ourselves with Krishna. His story that he's writing is for the whole family to do this together, not one now. It's not the one. The one won't save. The ones will. The ones will share the Lord, share Lord Chaitanya, which is what everybody needs, their ultimate relationship with the Lord. And I know that some devotees are having troubles understanding, but you will understand if you keep listening. Stay away from Maharaj and keep listening right now, because one's speculations, you know, cause difficulties. I cause difficulties for Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And I had to learn how to stay away from him and not bring this stuff to him through. You know, Lolita taught me a lot about that. Thank you to Lolita. And she taught me many things. And all of, like I said, all of this stuff is bickering and it's funny and we can let go. I can let go. I will let go. I've had it. We have this stuff in Indian families anyway. And this is transcendental. We're not here to be these prim little this little family like that. We're not. We're real. Real is who we are, and we come from there. You know, the Lord Chaitanya accepts us with who we are, and we are delivered. We are gradually delivered more and more and more. You can see, you know, these days, you know, the way, you know, they deliver babies. It's quite traumatic for women these days. So it's like a process. It's a gradual process now. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare. So some devotees can be very intense because of their previous lives touching this material, this illusion, and living in the illusion as best as they can without shelter. You know, we've all done that, and now we have shelter. You know, no matter what happens, let's stay linked to the shelter, because it's the shelter from the parampara and the live wire Srila Gaura Haridas. And again, you may not understand what Srila Gaura Haridas is doing. Keep watching and you will. Keep listening and you will. That's happened every single time. He's not an ordinary man. So what you think what ordinary men are doing is not what Srila Gaura Haridas is doing. It's not. And you just have to stay. Or you can go with your own opinion and go off and go away from shelter. You can stay and actually go through that. And finally, once and for all, get away from those doctors that don't know real. Actually, maybe they do. They do. Hare Krishna. To a certain degree. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Our safety is here in the shelter. Oh my God, it's really real safety. Even you don't have to focus on us bickering. It happens. It just happens. We're growing, but we're growing under the shelter of Krishna. So everything that we do, it's a transcendental thing. You know, you see, you know, I watch. You may understand. I watch, and I'm watching from the beginning the Kardashians, and Karuna's going to make a face now, and the way they work together. You know, the mother is the head and she's the manager of them, and they bicker. Yes, it's for the material good and for material, but I'm looking through that, and the way they are tight, like this family. You know, they stay together, they do things together no matter what, the greater good of their family. But it's all temporary. But the way, and Krishna was making me watch them at the hospital one time, and even now, again, they bicker. They bicker so much, but they go back together really tight. And here, but that's just temporary, and it's for material money and material wealth. And look at me, and you know, keeping the people's attention into the illusion. And here in the spiritual family, you know, we go through purifications, we go through some bickering, but we stay under the shelter, headed by Srila Gaura Haridas, because he's the live wire. He brings, being ordered by Prabhupada, he brings the shelter upon us. We are showered by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya in this time, in this place, together. And our bickering is just something that happens, you know, and we'll get through it. We always do. You know, it's for the greater, it's for everybody. You know, Srila Gaura Haridas is everybody's friends. We are becoming the friends of all, because we just want everyone to have their individual relationship with Krishna, because that will give you your shelter to be able to reveal your true, authentic personality, your true ego, you know, which is part and parcel of our Father, our mother and father. We are learning that here, going through purification, going through any kind of bickering, going through different people's understanding. But one is always going to the one opinion, the one true, absolute truth. You know, people veer off, and I'm sure I do. No, but you could bring me a bit more hot water. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll do just take this off. So it's just, these are family engagements under the shelter of Lord Chaitanya, represented by the living representative Srila Gaura Haridas, and keeping everything centered, because Srila Gaura Haridas sees us all. Whatever you may have thought with this, we've thought it ourselves, but then we've stayed and we've seen what's really truly happening. And you may see things, but maybe you're seeing them for yourself as well. Anyway, on that, I'm just going to read this verse because I looked at it. So this is Isaiah, and I know that Maharaj doesn't read all of these. It's Paul. What's the other one? But you can see the changes in them. So it's Isaiah 40, Jai Jesus. Oh, glories to you. Okay, Isaiah 40, 31. But those who wait on the Lord, and if we wait on what Srila Gaura Haridas is doing, you will see, you will feel, you'll have relief. Wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. And if we do that, staying in the Sangha, we receive that real inner strength, those inner muscles. I was going to the gym for like 15 years. And everything I did is kind of all gone now. But I have inner strength. And yes, I would like the outer strength as well. But I have this inner strength that's giving me the opportunity to build the body, the temporary body as well. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We renew our real strength. They shall mount up with their wings like eagles. We stand up under Srila Gaura Haridas. We stand tall. We are backed by Srila Gaura Lord Chaitanya, coming through Srila Gaura Haridas and the devotees. Arjuna on the battle of Kurukshetra was backed by Krishna. He was driving the chariot. Hare Krishna. We come with real devotees of the Lord who are backed, by the Lord and can stand on the front line. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. They shall run and not be. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not be faint. And this is what's happening with everything that's happening in the world, all the chaos, all the destruction, all the fear, etc., that's going off. We're standing tall. We don't want to be part of that. We don't want to be in that association, but we see, and we can, the Lord tells us and shows us and has given us that strength, because we've been hearing and our blocks have just been moved out the way. They've moved out the way again. Whatever you call it in your country, we call it the motorway here, or the freeway in America. I don't know, in Australia. But if those roads weren't clear, you would be in danger. You would be causing accidents. Everything would be happening. Those roads are clear. Here we are building a clear road for others as well. We're building it for ourselves and others at the same, a clear road to come home. The illusion uncovered, and you can be at home like that. And we don't feel faint. We don't feel material emotions. And we keep going through, clearing the road for everyone, the Lord's children, to all come home. But they're not scared into doing that. Hare Krishna. Okay, maybe they are. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. People are scared by the world already. They're scared by the world already. They go through anxiety and fear and stress and all sorts of things. But it's temporary, and people will come back when they leave the body finally. They'll come back and do it again. Here, we go through those things. In this Sangha, we're doing it for the greater good of everything, because the Lord wants all his children to come home. And the devotee said, I want to save all my children. Absolutely. We are going to do this together. Together we will do this. It's a family affair. That's what Lord Chaitanya is showing in his leelas. You know, he was with his devotees all the time. They were together. He was showing, you know, we are going to do this now here. Finally, in Raganuga Bhakti, in spontaneous loving devotion, together we will share where the Lord is. We will show where the Lord is. We will reveal where he is. Not by scaring others. They're already scared. And it entwined with the illusion. This is allowing individuals to use their will to individually realize they are servants of the Lord. So they too can have an individual, an intimate relationship, one-to-one relationship with their mother and father, and have all their attention. And we all need that. So, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay. So this one, okay. So again, Proverbs 3.78. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Our eyes need to be cleaned of the depths of this illusion, which is entwined in our subtle body, not just the gross body, but like even subtler body. And the Lord is even subtler. So we have to go through that. And it happens automatically. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. So he's saying, fear the Lord and depart. Well, there's so much fear already. The Lord is putting so much fear, you know, through, you know, the demons who were causing, who were causing havoc every day. The only fear we have here in the Sangha is going through our triggers because of the fear we have caused others. We just go through our triggers. And we depart. We leave the evil. We leave the evil. Maybe the Lord, it may seem like the Lord is doing evil, but that is transcendental. Transcendental mean whatever he does not affect us the way the illusion affects us because of our focus on it. It is all illusionary. It's all unstable, all unsecure. You know, the Lord and more. Frightening, scary, anxiety, dark, completely baffled. Here, Srila Guru Haridas shines the light upon everything that is happening within our individual lives. So we receive transcendental knowledge, more knowledge than people have here than Hare Krishna. To understand that we use our will to serve the Lord's devotees, so the Lord can save everyone, so the Lord can come through each of his devotees to share with everyone and drown out the Kali Yuga focus, the illusionary focus. It will be health to your flesh, absolutely, because you transcend from your disturbances in the body, and strength to your bones. It's true. As we transcend, you know, on the illusions of our parts we're playing, which, you know, I have the part of the sickness and people have other parts. We are not those things. We transcend them. We rise above them. We rise above the words, the English words, and what mundane people have with the meaning of English words. I'm healthier because of being on this path, hearing from the bona fide spiritual master. You know, this body has been disturbed by being, you know, on a kidney machine, but I'm okay. I'm all right. I don't need to run and heal my kidneys. If they happen, they happen. You know, I'll maintain the body as much as possible while hearing absolute truth every day, under guided by and read by Srila Gora Haridas and the devotees. You know, whoever of the devotees allow me to share. Here, that's it. Sorry, here, here. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So let's read. So today I've just been talking, you know, about actually still being in devotees are still being in illusion, and I'm sure I am in areas. And Maharaj, I'm open for Maharaj to pick them out and show me them. I'm open for that. I am, because I just want to get closer and bring others with me, like my father. Excuse me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare. All glories to my spiritual. All glories to you. Oh my God, all glories to you for accepting me as your devotee, for seeing through all my crusts and thorns that are still around. All glories to your lotus feet, Srila Guru Haridas. All glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. Oh my gosh, thank you for ordering Srila Guru Haridas to preach the second path in your books, because there was no one else who could do that job, who was doing that job. Thank you for. I understand that he is not in the movement that you created, but the movement that you created is not is not the movement that you created anymore. It's stuck and stagnant. Hare Krishna. But it doesn't have to be. That's why you needed to preach. You needed to order. Srila Guru Haridas was doing the job of awakening the Lord and planting the seed of devotion and nourishing that seed and growing the Lord with his devotees. And now he's doing it after your order, Srila Prabhupada. He's doing it again and again and again with his devotees. And it's an ongoing process. You know, we're not just this boom, pure family appeared here on the earth and everybody's going, ah! No, you know, we are individually walking this path, letting go of the illusion, the focus on all of this darkness, this evil here, by hearing the word of God and receiving the strength of the Lord as he's growing, as we hear the word of God. Spirit within is hearing the great spirit from without and growing inside and growing our own relationship, individual relationship with the Lord. And Srila Guru Haridas has created a space for that to happen. Thank you, dear. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Srila Guru Haridas. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada, for seeing, oh my God, for seeing what Srila Guru Haridas and ordering him to do this. So please, to all the devotees who come and get triggered, it's so much more fruitful and relishable to be triggered here and bring out one's anger and let it go than to just be triggered in society with no shelter of absolute truth. The Lord himself showering upon us, keeping us safe and building, as Maharaj was speaking a lot yesterday about building the spiritual body. This is a body that is reflecting actually the spiritual body. In the spiritual body, yes. Hare Krishna, there you go. All glories to you, dear Prabhupada. Balaram seems to think I don't love Prabhupada. I love Prabhupada. Oh my God. I love Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So I'm going to read. I'm going to read from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. So I was reading Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Oh, glory to the exalted personalities. So I'm going to go back and read another verse. Okay. And this is a thing. I have to go all the way back to the... yes, sorry, to let you know, it's chapter 8. It's chapter 8 of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And the canto 1, which is creation. And this is prayers by Queen Kunti. And Prakshit saved. And I'm on verse... 90. Jai Shri Guru Hari Das. Jai Parampara. Radha and Krishna. Trust builds here. Real, pure trust builds here. One is able to deeply trust where the Lord resides. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Being beyond, and let me just turn this down a little bit. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for Him. That's what we do here. We rest in the heart of the Lord through Srila Guru Hari Das. I'm sorry, that was Psalms 37:7. I looked at it. We rest here in the heart of the Lord. And we go through whatever we have to go through, which is waiting patiently, but we go through, we share. And it all is given. It is all taken. And I've been a patient for all this time. And I still wasn't patient. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay. Being beyond the range of limited sense perception. You are the eternally inapproachable factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy. People who think they know Krishna really deeply can still be deluded. And it's okay. We're here to learn those things and come away from those things by resting in the heart of the Lord and understanding trust. And now Him resting in my heart, reciprocal relationship. The curtain of deluding energy, everybody, the curtain's closed because they're just focusing on the illusion. They're covered by the illusion. You are invisible to the foolish observer. We're fools. People are fools. They cannot see the Lord standing there in front of him, the Lord within him. Hare Krishna. They would never know without coming here to this shelter to be uncovered of the curtain of deluding energy. It is a curtain. People can't approach the Lord because they're shut off by this curtain because they're in delusion. They are circling in that energy for lifetimes and lifetimes. They do not have the shelter of the Lord. He's completely invisible to everyone. And he's the feeling of the Lord because we don't feel the Lord. We cannot feel the depth of the Lord. He's so subtle. Much more subtler than our subtle body, our emotional body. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. But they've changed that now because all the deluding energy, the actors, who are acting in these, they are recognized more than just as much as the parts they play. It's gone off because I'm not looking at. I don't know if anybody's here. Okay. I want to do this with my family, Krishna. Please forgive me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It's such more fun. Hare Krishna, where did I go? I left my and with our senses, with our senses in the illusion, they're limited. We cannot receive real life with our limited sense perception. With the Lord's senses, with the Lord, with His, and pleasing Him and receiving his senses, receiving his happiness, receiving, look how happy our parents used to be, if you remember, with us when we're pleasing them, when we're just making them laugh and we're doing what they want. You are eternally irreproachable factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy. Eternally, people will not be able to approach the Lord. This is happening eternally. Approach the Lord because of being covered by this deluding energy. And look, I'm still hearing this deluding energy and get deluded very little now, but still by the shelter, just a little bit, the shelter of Srila Guru Haridas, the real live wire of the real true parampara, and has proved it. Okay. Krishna, Krishna. So I'm playing the part. I'm not the part. Krishna is the real playing the part. He's the one that gives us everything. But now, again, as the most recent incarnation, which is Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya, cheers. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So let's see what Prabhupada says. And I'm going to also look up the word so you know irreproachable. We can't approach the Lord if we are in the curtain of deluding energy, if we are in the illusion and the curtain is closed to Krishna, it will be opened. The lights will shine by the bona fide spiritual master. They say it every day. This is Raganuga Bhakti. This is not Vaidhi Bhakti. We are just coming on from Vaidhi Bhakti. So let me just do this first. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna. Hare, define irreproachable. No, it's not done that. Okay, we won't want that one. It's not hearing my words, so I'll spell it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay. Beyond criticism, faultlessness. So that is the Lord. No matter what he does, however we perceive it, it's beyond any kind of faultlessness. That's why I like to use the word transcend, because we work for the Lord's the devotees, and he works for the Lord himself. The Lord is faultless. He's eternal, and he's there for our shelter, and we are part of that. He is the Great Spirit. Let me just put my charger. He's the Great Spirit, as the American Indians, or the Indians in America used to say and still do. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I keep moving. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna. So this is in text 19. See what Prabhupada says. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna affirms that less intelligent persons mistake him to be an ordinary man like us. So there's some devotees in the Sangha that has taken Maharaj to just be an ordinary man. He might seem like on the surface he's doing what an ordinary man is doing, but he's not. And you can simply know that if you are inspired by my words, is to just come and try yourself. Because when you see it yourself, you will really know. And to be able to really know, you have to stay in that association. It's beneficial to really understand that Srila Guru Haridas is not an ordinary man. Krishna is not an ordinary man. Okay, Hare Krishna. And thus they deride him. So, you know, a lot of people deride Maharaj because they just think he's an ordinary man because they don't stay long enough, you know, to see through any coverings that Maharaj may have. We all have them. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. But his Vedanta is so deep because his bhakti, his pure love for Krishna is so deep. So people who don't know, people who are so far away from the Lord, they don't, because we used to walk with Maharaj, go to the supermarket. People would be just looking at him like that. And Maharaj would just speaking and his eyes would be twinkling. They'd be like, it was always like that. It was always like that. So anybody who's in the presence of Maharaj now, wow. Maria, bless her, she's so lucky. Okay. The same is confirmed herein by Queen Kunti. The less intelligent persons are those who rebel against the authority of the Lord. Now you have to understand real authority. Most people who are authority here are masquerading as authority because, you know, they're bringing our doom and gloom in and not actually helping, and that's what they're doing. And but they're disguising it. But the Lord, most of the masses cannot see this. They still feel because they're covered by the illusion. You know, they're circling in that deluding energy. The curtains of the Lord are shut to them. Hare Krishna. And they can't see what is happening in front of their eyes. Taking a step out, being under the shelter, allowing the Lord to show us. Maharaj has been seeing exactly what is going on. I saw from my research what was going on. And because of my research, and from years ago, I moved out of society, away from society. I remember pushing my TV out, didn't want to watch that. So I didn't know exactly what I was doing until I came and reached here, until I connected with Srila Gaura Haridas. He gave me the greatest offer to hear from him, and everything will be okay. We all have troubles. We all have issues. They're a part that we're playing. We never die. And if we come from that place of spirit, hearing spirit, we will realize we are immortal. We are immortal. In this curtain of deluding energy, we are mortal because we are in that illusion of this body is who we are. So we are born. That's not a nice thing. We live, we get old, we die. And it just keeps happening again. Now here, that cycle for each devotee in our Sangha has been broken to a degree, and more so for others than, and we're just all on that journey. And now journeys are great with Krishna. We take him everywhere we go. Okay, so people who rebel, you know, against authorities, they can, a lot of them can see, you know, there's something going off here, you know, but they seem to have all, you know, those authorities seem to have all the guns and all the weapons. They've got everybody manipulated and policing each other, doing the job that they want. You know, that people are doing that job for the powers, these demonic entities, beings, sorry. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay. So we don't actually have any real authority here at all. The only real true authority now is Srila Gaura Haridas and his Sangha, because he's bringing in the spiritual body of Lord Chaitanya. We are all growing our spiritual bodies. He is bringing that process through to us here now, so we can realize absolute truth. We can realize and live in the association of spirit and know we are spirit, and come away from, okay, we're not the body, like they talk about in Vaidhi Bhakti, which is fine. You know, we need to start somewhere, and instead of just talk about it, know it, feel it, live it, breathe it, talk about it like that, from that point. From that point, so others can start to realize by listening, not the body, oh my God, spirit to spirit. Okay, So such persons, they in the Vaidhi, these demonic entities that people don't realize. Most people are knowing something's going off. So something happened there. Going off, called Asuras. So I'm back to the purport. The Sasuras cannot recognize the Lord's authorities. They cannot recognize. They're so demonic and so evil and so far away from the Lord. In a way, that is the people, who are covered by this energy. And in chapter 11, where Krishna's talking about the Yadus, if I leave now, oh my God, they are going to be so distressed. They're just going to cause havoc here on the earth. Because they can't live without Krishna. These people are in a way doing the same thing. With Krishna, that was his entourage that came with him. They cannot live without Krishna, and he had to show that pastime. We cannot live without Krishna. Krishna brought his entourage. It's a pastime, but we cannot live without our connection to our spiritual mother and father. We cannot do that. Otherwise, it's just going to be what's happening now, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And those asuras now, those demons that we call today, they couldn't recognize the authority of the Lord when it was here. So they have planned to just take over the authorities that we recognize. They've taken over all authorities everywhere. And people think these are authorities and we pay our taxes, but they're just taking our taxes for themselves and causing all of this destruction everywhere, wars everywhere. And so we cannot trust in our authorities anymore. We need the real, true authority who began authorities here in the first place that have now been taken over. Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, who is the recent incarnation for the understanding of people now in this time of Kali Yuga. Most merciful, we do things happen. Lord Chaitanya said, it doesn't matter. Walk this way to my devotee, because he has me so deeply, more than anyone here on the earth. There are devotees out there in the Sangha and in Balaram. I read a quote of his yesterday. I really like Balaram. He's a really kind guy. And he said, what was it now? He was saying that there are people like Maharaj everywhere on the earth. In a way, that's what he's saying. There are great devotees everywhere on the earth. He's right in a way. Anyone can become a great devotee. Anyone can become a great devotee. I don't know if anybody's here. Oh, Jan's here. Sorry, no. From Macbeth, security is mortals' chiefest enemy. Thank you, Karuna. Thanks for that. Yeah. Govinda, and we have Jan here as well. So yes, I'm reading from Chaitanya, the Canto 1 from Srimad Bhagavatam, Queen Kunti offers prayers, and Parikshit Maharaj. And so that's what I'm reading from. So I just came to check to see if you guys were here, because when I'm reading, I'm not able to see you. Let me put my phone on so then I can. Oh, actually, I don't get distracted and disturbed, and Karuna likes that. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. I'll say at the end what I've been doing and what am I doing. Okay, I can see that you're there now. Oh, Rajiv is here as well. Oh, Rajiv, I said as well, I'm having trouble with the testimonials page. So I'm starting a new one. I'm going to post it on there. I'm going to try, with Karuna's help, get it connected, that page connected to page 1 of testimonials to page 2 of them. So I'll carry on reading the purport. Yeah. And you can follow on verse 19. Okay, the port. Okay, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So where was I? Okay. When the Lord himself appears amongst us as Ram, Nishima, Varaha, or in his original form as Krishna, he performs many wonderful acts which are humanly impossible. As we shall find in the 10th canto of the greatest literature, Lord Sri Krishna exhibited his humanly impossible activities even from the days of his lying on the lap of his mother. Chapter 8, Kruna, sorry, text 19. And it's like that. I don't know, it's with Maharaj, you know, with Lord Chaitanya coming through now, it's like that we are sitting on the lap of our Father and we've been tickled by him, excited by him. It's like, you know, they go and sit on, children go and sit on Father Christmas, is it Father? Yes, I forgot his name. Father Christmas, they sit on his lap and they ask him for presents. That's just material and mundane. You know, here in spirit, we're sitting on the lap, always sitting on the lap of Lord Chaitanya. No, Canto 8, Canto 1, Chapter 8, verse 19. There you go. Stop doing that. Okay. It's like that. We're sitting on the laps of our mother, you know, and we're receiving, because it's born again. We're being born again and we're receiving pure love of God and growing on that energy, growing on that foundation of security. Oh, okay. And, you know, in material life, you know, you wouldn't see in films, yes, because that's films and they can use all sorts of paraphernalia and do all sorts of things and make it look like, you know, humans are, you know, can do all of these impossible things. But you know what they have to be able to make that possible. But a little baby being able to do all of those inhumanely things that little baby Krishna did, you know, by breaking the cart and killing Trinavata, the wind demon, and killing the bull demon, all those demons he killed in Vrindavan to protect his devotees. He's still doing that here, and he's doing that here now. But as Lord Chaitanya, he's killing all demons within and without. The devotees who are sheltered under the umbrella, the space that Srila Gaura Das is making and bringing Lord Chaitanya through. We are sheltered from that, like he was sheltering. He sheltered his devotees from, you know, the lightning forces of and all sorts of things from Indra under Govardhan Hill. But that is a reflection of the unlimited Govardhan Hill that all his children can be sheltered under and be protected by his devotees. Protected. What did I say? Protect his devotees, his real true devotees, and begin to rise and live in spirit, live in Vrindavan in spirit. Otherwise, we cannot get there. You know, it's a great reflection actually of how Krishna and now Lord Chaitanya, he protects us. He protects his devotees. We're going to his devotees, his deep Srila Gaura Haridas, and listening at his feet every single day and hearing. And you know what's happening? The real world is building before us. The old world, which is the deluding energy, is just crumbling down around us all the time. You know, and so again, to devotees, if you have issues, just stay. It will change. I promise. I promise. I promise. Okay, I'll just see how long I've been. Oh, I know what it is. I know what those noises are. It's the comments. It's the comments. So, did you get that? Yes. Canto 1, Chapter 8, verse 19. You nearly got it. Okay, I'll have to write it at the beginning. I haven't been doing that recently, but I'll do that because I know it really does. It really does help. Let's just round this off. Oh, we have 108 there. Kuna likes that. Okay. So was I? Yes. laying on the lap of his mother. So we were just talking about how, you know, if babies now did things that Krishna was doing back when he was here, you can only see them when you're on that consciousness. Otherwise, people cannot see what Krishna is doing. Okay. Just activities that we've been taught that are impossible. Nothing's impossible for the Lord. He's completely unlimited. People limit themselves and then limit the Lord as well. But anyway, let's carry on. Sri Krishna exhibited his humanly impossible activities even from the days of his laying on the lap of his mother. Every time I go to class, I'm sitting on the lap of Lord Chaitanya, Srila Gaura Haridas, and receiving. You know, I don't even have to ask for my presence then. Krishna, the Lord knows what I need, and I'm receiving all of these gifts. He knows, the Lord knows. I need real, true life. I need life, absolute truth. God himself, that is my greatest presence. And I receive presence sitting on the lap of hearing from Srila Gaura Haridas and the devotees in his classes, and receive all these gifts. Christmas every day on the lap of the Transcendental Father Christmas, Srila Gaura Haridas. Srila Gaura, it's verse 19, Karuna. But it's fine. You don't have to write it again. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, I can't do it. Anyway, okay. So he killed the Putana witch, which was a kind of one of the worst. Actually, it was disguised as a devotee, looking beautiful like this devotee, acting very nice, but underneath, you know, she had that black heart, Putana. Although she smeared her breasts with poison just to kill. He killed the Putana witch, although she smeared her breast with poison just to kill the Lord. What did the Lord do? He liberated her to become a real devotee. She tried to kill him. Seems like the Lord likes challenges. Anyway, okay. The Lord sucked her breast like a natural baby. And you can watch it on Little Krishna. It's very lovely. And he sucked her out. He sucked out her very life. So similarly, he lifted the Govardhan hill just as a boy picks up a frog's umbrella, and stood several days continuously just to give protection to the residents of Vrindavan. You know, I contemplated on that. How can a boy do that? Because my understanding was I was so covered. You know, there's got to be something in it, and I didn't understand it. So I waited. And Jesus said, I waited with patience to understand, to be given the strength, to be able to understand what is going off, to be able to be. It's, yeah. Yeah. Jesus was telling the truth. Wow. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Where was I? So, you know, we only see, you know, on film that Superman can lift the hill, the big things, and, you know, evil people can live big things, and it's all made up. It's all make believe, but it's not for Krishna, and it's not for Krishna. He can do, you know, he lives. He's our spirit. He can do anything. Spirit is limited. You cannot. We can only bind and cover a spirit if we stay in this illusion. Even my spirit is covered by this body, but I am hearing from the bona fide spiritual master, and my spirit has this magnetic force to my parents, to Srila Gaura Haridas, to the absolute truth he brings to us. We have that magnetic force which is going like that every time. And if he wants, I don't think so, because Lord Chaitanya didn't do all of those kind of things. He played the part of a sannyasi. And we're looking to Lord Chaitanya now and his message. Hare Krishna. You know, Krishna killed all those demons. Here Lord Chaitanya is here, and Maharaj is always saying, shoot for the rhinoceros to bring everyone home. You know, they are the greatest challengers, people like Bill Gates and all the others, Fauci, etc. I don't like to say their names, actually. No, I actually don't remember them. What's the other? Elon Musk. Anyway, just to bring them all home. These guys, You know, they're so far away from Krishna. They just want to cause destruction. They just want to cause disturbance. They need their mother and father. They're lost. We're all lost. So here, because we are sheltered by Lord Chaitanya, we are sheltered by the potency of the Lord, and all of our demons are being destroyed. That is being triggered. When we hear from Maharaj and he does something we find very difficult, and that's not part of being a guru, it's a trigger. You know, go through that trigger, go through it, and you'll see more. You'll have a closer relationship with the Lord. You feel that relationship with the Lord. This is my experience. You know, if we see our spiritual master doing something that we don't understand, speak about it. Let's talk about it. Let's understand it. Let's hear other people's real experiences of what's happening, and really show you together who Srila Guru Hari Das is right now. You know, the living representative for the most recent incarnation of Lord Chaitanya, bringing through that process, bringing through that way to get home, the way to get home. And boy, it can be just like that. So I see how I've been on. Yes, I will finish now. Kruna's been helping. Thank you so much. To Govinda and Rajiv and to Jan and to the boys, the coward boys. Gopis. Thank you very much. So today, just to clarify, I was sharing about the confusion of some devotees on what Srila Guru Hari Das does. I can have a confusion to patience. Just that's it. We don't have to go away. You know, what people do, they get triggered and they don't like it. They go away and cover it up. They cover up that trigger. Ooh. We can see that quite clearly. But if we stay here, those triggers will finally completely be extinguished. If Krishna brings up deep triggers, because it's only Krishna can bring those deep triggers up through Srila Guru Hari Das. And again, if he triggers you, it's a trigger and makes you angry. People will go away and cover it up with what they think is best. It's okay, but stay connected, stay within the Sangha, and you will realize these things more and more and more. Realize our delusions with what Srila Guru Hari Das, and he is bringing in. He is taking on the baton of Srila Prabhupada and doing so much more than what Prabhupada was doing. But Prabhupada did the greatest job to set the ground, set the pitch, set up this. People will even know the name Krishna. So I was reading from the Bible, some verses from the Bible and explaining them. And actually you can see by the Bible and read them, the verses, how Jesus was speaking the one truth. And so was Krishna. So is Krishna. And so is Lord Chaitanya now speaking it in terms of how we can deal with it now in this space, this time. We're all spontaneous beings. Spirit is spontaneous. But we need the shelter in order to be in that place every single day. So I just read also from what I was reading, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, the praise of Queen Kunti, and Parikshit Maharaj. You know, you look at Parikshit Maharaj, you know, he was cursed to live 7 days, and he was like, okay, that's fine. He was the king, you know, and he sat down on his bum and just listened to the sages, listened to Narada. It was a Sukadev Goswami, you guys will know. And listened and just listened about absolute truth, hearing the word of God, hearing spirit, God himself, truth showered on him 24/7 in that time. And off he went back home to Vrindavan. Queen Kunti, she had so many atrocities happen to her. And she liked it. And maybe don't see that in the way you might be hearing it. She called the Lord every time these things were happening, and the Lord came every time. But he's there all the time for us. So, you know, we've had loads of, you know, that's why Lord Chaitanya goes to the lowest of the lowest. They've had so much shit going off, so much things happening to them. You can save them, you can save anyone. We are the lowest of the low. rising up to be frontline warriors, standing up for truth to help everyone else. To help everyone else. So I was just talking about that and how we are sheltered. If we accept Srila Guru Haridas as our bona fide spiritual master, the Acharya, propagating Prema Sankirtan, going on from Prabhupada deeper and deeper and going into what Prabhupada was saying, and not just staying on the outside of what he was saying, but going in and having a deeper relationship with him, learning more about him. My gosh, he put his hand on my head, spoke through my mouth, stood back there behind me in spirit. And, you know, the people who say they know Prabhupada, yeah, you know him too. And you could tell me more about him as well, but we could tell you so deeper things about Srila Prabhupada here. That's it. You know, so we've been talking about being sheltered by the Lord now as Lord Chaitanya through Srila Guru Haridas, and being protected through all this chaos that is happening. You know, the demons, the asuras, they've gone crazy. But it's like it's anyway. I'm not going to say that, but that's what I've been doing. So I read from that chapter, and it really came into line with what a devotee was talking to me about, you know, misunderstandings about what Srila Guru Haridas is doing because of one's level of understanding, platform of understanding. I know people don't like certain words. On that, please watch Srila Guru Haridas live on Facebook. Or whatever social media channel you use. He streams from Restream, TikTok, and even on TikTok, you can watch him on TikTok or on Facebook, on YouTube. Everybody has YouTube, don't they? And you can watch Srila Guru Haridas, and we can see everybody who's watching, especially if you have those other social medias. And you have to pay if you want about 30 or 40 of them. But this is great for now. Thank you very much. Srila Guru Haridas live coming up very soon. Please watch, please join in this really great show that you can be a part of. You can feel and be a part of. And they're not mundane feelings. They are transcendental feelings lifting you out of this illusion, opening the curtains for you so you can see, oh my God, look what Srila Guru Haridas is doing, and look where I am, and look what I'm in, look what I'm doing. And oh my God, look at those people, look at those, they're so happy. Oh my God, look what's happening. Oh, do you see what I'm saying? Thank you very much on that. Jai Srila Guru Haridas.